Hey everyone, in this video, I'll be going over some practical tips you can apply right now to your shop. I see a lot of Etsy sellers make common mistakes that can be easily fixed, and I believe it can generate a lot more traffic and sales for you. So make sure to watch the whole video. It's gonna be jam-packed. I'll be going over different shops people submitted to me, so I'll be reviewing them, but you can definitely apply a lot of these to your shop. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting with this first shop here, they are in the planner space. They are trying to achieve the that girl aesthetic. This is very popular theme right now, especially in the planner space, but you can apply this to all the different categories out there for digital products. So let's see what is going on here. Everything looks amazing, the mockups, but if we look at the product analysis, come down here, you can see their keywords that they're using. And if you look closely to the bottom half here, a lot of these tags are using that girl planner, portrait planner, that girl, but using that same keyword. And you're pretty much being pretty repetitive with that same one. And you're not expanding a broad reach and trying to hit as much keywords as possible. So one of the easiest way just to see how you're doing compared to bestsellers is to look at the best sellers in your category. So if we tackle into this listing, specifically, you can see that obviously they're doing super well. And by the way, this tool we're using right now is Everbee. If you haven't used Everbee before, you can check it out in the link in the description. So try it for free. And it's one of my favorite researching tools, but let's get back into it. So coming down here, you see all the tags that this bestseller is using. And you notice that they're not even using that girl in their tags and titles. This is something that you need to be aware of. Whether a certain trend you're going after, maybe a certain aesthetic, that might just be the aesthetic you want to label in your mockups, but it may be different than what someone is actually searching for. So this is the difference between what you're calling their style, the theme of your designs, and also what are people actually searching for. Okay, so keep that in mind for your category. And something else I want to note on here is see the years that they're putting in. They're adding all these different years in their titles, whereas over here, they are not doing that. So just to summarize this one, make sure you are using the keywords that have high demand and not repeating the same ones that no one is really searching for, even though that is what you're labeling your listings. Okay, so the second shop we have here, and this one I'll be focusing on one area of the shop. And if we're talking about SEO, bringing more traffic in, one key thing and one very easy thing you can apply to your shop is the shop title. Okay, it's a short brief, maybe a slogan explaining what your shop is about, not just in your name. And this is an area where you can actually utilize SEO. It does play a role in the algorithm, so make sure that whatever your shop is about, the primary keywords, you want to include it in your shop title. So for this shop, they have templates for Canva. And yes, this makes sense for this category, but you should be more specific, trying to target more keywords. If you are doing resumes, maybe put resumes just to double up on that keyword. Let Etsy know what your shop is about. And as we scroll down to see the rest of the shop, I noticed you also do funeral welcome signs. So I know it's a category that is well demanded here, but something you want to be aware of. If you are adding a specific keyword in your shop name, for this one, you're using success resume, it may be off-putting, slightly different when you're offering funeral welcome signs, and right here says success resume. Okay, so for anyone who knows that you're planning to hit a broader niche with your shop, try not to use very specific keywords or niches in your shop name because you'll be pigeonholed into that category. And while the shop name can play a role in SEO, it's not that big of a deal for me. For all of my shops, I don't really use specific keywords just in case I want to expand. So just to wrap it up, the shop title, make sure to utilize this as best to your abilities, adding some primary keywords in there, and it can help with SEO. And for the shop name, try not to use too specific ones. Unless you know you're honing in onto a specific category, then I would rather just keep it more broad in case in the future you do plan on expanding your niche. Okay, so the next shop we have, but just looking at this print, this is an amazing print. So great job on this, probably done through AI. But something to notice is your titles here. You're not really being very specific in terms of what keywords you're using, and is quite short. You can actually make it a lot longer. So if we take a look at the product analytics tool, Let's take a look at the tags you're using. And just looking at this briefly, it's not that specific. I think you could find keywords that are higher in demand because the highest search volume you have is just 950. You want to be targeting keywords at least tens and 20,000s if you can, or have some of them in those categories. And something that I like to do in my titles and tags is I like to have ones that are more broad, that can hit a lot of different categories with the highest demand. And I like to have some that are more specific. So it's a good balance between broad keywords and more niche keywords in your titles and tags. Now, coming back here, you'll probably see a pattern. Something that I like to do is always be referencing other competitors that are similar in your category. So if we take a look at this one listing, that is another listing here, they are doing a lot better. And if you come down and look at their keywords, they're using printable art, nursery wall art, safari decor, animal wall art, right? These are a bit more broad, and then they go more specific, more safari keywords, some baby zebra, which is your primary one. And they're keeping it very broad in case someone that just wants anything baby zebra related, they'll have it here. They want to target and hit those keywords. Whereas the other one over here, you can just see that the demand is not the greatest for most keywords. So it could just be a quick fix in terms of switching your titles and tags, matching with keywords that are higher demand. And most of the times you'll see an increase in traffic just by making that switch. Okay, so next shop, they're selling more kawaii style prints. And these are incredible. These are amazing. But one thing I would say is add more listings if you can. Etsy likes to see shops that have a lot of different images, a lot of different mockups, and it's just better for the algorithm, but also better for the shopper, the shopping experience. They want to see as many photos as they can. So I definitely recommend adding some more in there. And another thing I want to note is since these designs are very specific, and most of the time people won't literally search for a cute bunny and a peach wall art, you have to go more general, like using pastel aesthetic art prints. And if we just look at the analytics, the search demand is not that much. So it's something to be aware of. If you are in certain categories where the designs are very specific, and you literally can't find any keywords that matches your specific design, then you have to reconsider what is your marketing effort. And if you've been following me for a while, you understand that the main strategy that I like to approach is SEO, right? Knowing what is in demand and supplying the solution for it. I also have a free masterclass you can check out where I explain the whole process of it, but check it out if you want. But coming back to this topic, if you cannot approach it in the SEO realm, you have to drive external traffic. If you're selling something that's more design focused, where you just want to catch people's eye, people will see it, not knowing that they need it. And they're like, wow, this is so cute, I want it. And so that's a different strategy. And that's something you may have to approach if you're in these kind of niches. So something to think about. Okay, so this next one we're looking at, they are selling different t-shirts designs. And these designs look pretty cool. But something that I always recommend is you need to align your mockups, your branding with what you're trying to sell. So in my eyes, I feel like these kind of categories may work better with higher quality mockups that actually make more sense. And I just did some quick researching even on Etsy. I like to use Etsy. I like to use Creative Market for different mockups. But this is what I found. I think this could do really well. And it's trying to align what you're trying to sell with whatever the demographic could be. Not saying this is what it is, but it's just trying to think of other ways on creating a better quality for your branding. And another note I want to point out is, let's say you're getting a lot of sales for the green shirt, then you may want to make your main thumbnail to that best-selling color. And this also applies to anyone, let's say in the digital product space. If there are certain things that you know your customers love about your products, make sure that jumps out in front in your mockups. Let everyone else know how amazing that one feature is. If these are the things that your audience is telling you, chances are other people will like it as well. And you want to make sure they know that before they jump into your competitor's listing. And that's it for this video. We went over a lot of different tips and tricks on how you can add more relevant keywords and expanding your reach by putting it into your shop title, putting it into your tags, using different tags, not just repeating the same words. We've talked about adding more images, more mockups into your listings. It just attracts more buyers, makes it more interesting. Etsy likes it as well. And also aligning your brand, using higher quality mockups, I can't stress enough how important it is to invest in some good mockups, and it's quite affordable if you think about it in terms of the long run, how much more you can make from just spending an extra $10, $20 on paid mockups. And also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Thank you for watching. I hope you gained some new insights to apply to your Etsy shop. If you're eager to truly turn your creativity into profit, then check out my Digital Freedom Academy. It's a complete step-by-step start-to-finish guide to master Etsy with digital products using my unique 4-phase Etsy Freedom framework. You'll discover how to research, how to create your products, the branding, and also how to launch successfully. We'll help you take out all of the guesswork. Myself and other coaches in the community will be there every step of the way to make sure that you succeed on Etsy, because I know how frustrating it can be trying to navigate this online venture alone. And trust me, this is going to save you time and energy. So if you want more details on how to join the community, just click the link below in the descriptions, and let's get your Etsy seller journey started in the right path together. I'll see you there.